Hi, I'm Ren.
I'm Sam.
I'm Tosh,
And
we're
we're
the
the
T
T
Swift
Swift
sisters.
Welcome back to the T Swift Sisters podcast, a Taylor Swift fan podcast for Swifties by Swifties. This is our last episode of the year, and we're super happy to share that we'll be back with all new episodes of the T Swift Sisters podcast in January 2024. I can't believe that we're already in 2024. I'll never be over that. But anyway, today's episode is all about the spirit of Swiftmas and what we loved about being Swifties this year. Here's this week's Swift Scoop. So today, instead of Taylor Swift news, we're kind of just going to be doing our very own Swiftie year in review, if you will. And I think we should start off with an easy question. We'll start off with something that I feel like we might all have the same answer to. So I kind of switched up my answer, but I feel like it's going to be obvious anyway. So what I'm saying is let's start with our favorite Swiftie thing that happened this year in 2023.
I want to hear yours. Now I'm curious.
No, mine is so lame. It's going to be I'm going to say what it is and you're going to be like, I knew it. That's so I knew you would pick that. It's not the Eras tour. I did not pick the Eras tour purposefully.
Okay.
And because Eras Tour LA will forever be the best thing that happened to me this year, / becoming an auntie. I'm sorry, Kaya, if you're listening to this, I love you. But in terms of Swiftie things that happened this year, Eras Tour in general for me, just, it takes the cake. So I picked the next best.
True. Eras Tour LA is just reserved as some of the best days in my life. So that just has its own spot.
Yeah, it's 100% goated. So.
Goated.
Okay, I'll say it. So obviously I thought Eras Tour would be first, more so than film, just Eras Tour. But then I thought, but a pretty iconic moment, I feel like, was the release of Snow on the Beach featuring more Lana Del Rey. And I was like, when does that happen? People are like, we want to hear her more. We want more of her. We want that version. And then it happened. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's a good one.
I agree. What else came out with Snow on the Beach with more Lana Del Rey? Was Hits different? Was that when it was released on streaming as well?
I think so.
I think so too. I'm going to check. Hold on. So we have Snow on the Beach featuring more Lana Del Rey, Hits Different, and Karma with Ice Spice.
Mm-hmm. On the Till the Dawn edition of Midnight.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yes, and that's also where we got You're Losing Me, right? But only if you purchase the physical CD form.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, Sama. That's your favorite Swiftie thing that happened this year. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I like your message behind it because it's something that she knew the fans wanted. So she went back to the studio, recorded it again to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
That was before this release happened before MetLife Stadium, right? New York, the New York show.
Yes, because I remember us saying, "Oh, we'll sing Karma like that," and it didn't happen, but it's okay.
Well, I mean, we were MetLife Stadium was supposed to be our show. So can you imagine? We would have literally gotten also Ice Spice performing Karma with Taylor Swift among Jack Antonoff and Getaway Car. And I digress. It's almost becoming now the worst thing that happened in Swiftie.
Yeah.
In 2023, year of the Swiftie. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and say mine while you think of yours, Tosh. Mine is Tavis, I think is my favorite thing to happen in 2023. And I think it's more, not so much the event itself or the happening. It's more like Sammy's where it's the message behind it kind of and everything else that it means. I think for the first time in such a long time, we're really getting to see Taylor's happiness and kind of a peek into her relationship with somebody that truly loves her, because I think we can all agree that Travis is just literally so obsessed with Taylor Swift. And it's just so nice to see them loving and supporting and championing each other. And it really fills my cup, honestly. So I think that's what my favorite Swiftie thing that happened this year, besides Eras Tour is.
Love that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think like we said, personally, it's, Eras Tour LA, seeing Taylor on floor, fulfilling our dreams with that. I think the whole friendship bracelet making and trading, like just the thing that is, like taking a lyric from a song and the fact that we like all went with it and like built this community of like just making friendship bracelets and exchanging them. Like I think that's one of my favorite things because I think it's going to be a thing forever now in like Swiftie world. So yeah.
I love that. I didn't even think about that. And it's so true. Like, it was truly the unwritten rule of the Eras Tour this year, from actually being at the concert all the way to the Eras Tour concert film. I love that.
Yeah.
Good one, Tosh.
Iconic, honestly. Not even iconic. It's iconique, truly.
Iconique.
I love it. That one was deep. They were all pretty deep. I love it.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. It truly was the year of the Swiftie, honestly, and Taylor Swift herself. So we're included because, you know.
I agree.
Okay, so next one. Favorite Taylor Swift song that dropped this year, which is, I was just about to ask Sammy, like, does Your Snow on the Beach featuring more Lana Del Rey also, is it like a 2-questioner answer or?
No, I got a separate one for this one.
Okay. Go for it.
Wait, Tosh, that was a very reflective face. I want to know what's going on in your mind.
That's why I told Sammy to go first, because Tasha's face was like, absolutely not.
It's just hard. I feel like so many songs were released. Like it's hard to pick one.
I know. So I really try to just like pick one. The one I picked was just the first one that came to mind when this question was posed. And
like a rapid fire kind of.
Like a rapid fire.
Yes.
And it's Timeless.
Oh.
That's mine too. I was stuck between Timeless, Hits Different, and You're Losing Me. And I was going to go Timeless.
Iconique, truly. I did not pick Timeless. I didn't, but I love that. Speak Now, Vault Track. Hello.
Yeah.
Like
I think that time is just I was going to say iconic again.
No, it's iconic.
Iconique.
No, but it is like, wow. Honestly, I'm surprised. I was just going to say, like, when I sent out the questions in episode prep, I said we can pick anything from the release of Midnights, even though it's 2022. We'll just throw it in 2023 as well. Eras Tour, you know, included in there all the way up to now. And even removing Midnights, the album itself, there's so much new music that we got. And like, for what? Taylor Swift is always putting out music. And like, that's why it is truly so hard to pick one song that is a favorite that dropped this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I love that. Mine is It Over Now, 1989 Vault Track. The 1989 Vault Tracks have changed my life for the better. Mm. I feel like I said a few weeks ago on this pod that like I was a Suburban Legends skipper or like what? No, I'm obsessed with all of them. I just start from Slut and I just go all the way over and over and over again. I can't. I love them all. But I think Is It Over Now is my favorite one.
I agree. That's a good one.
Why did you guys pick Timeless?
I just love that song. I loved it from the second it came out. Like, I just feel like it's so deep and like, not because of the drink Timeless by Tosh, but like, I just like, because of the drink, like that's the first one I heard and like really like listened to. And I was like, okay, like I absolutely just love the storytelling in this song. Like, I just love it. It just makes me happy.
So not because of the drink, but also because of the drink.
Because of the drink. That's the reason.
Reference was so out of left field. I'm like, Timeless.
Well, it's just, it just like, I just like picked the song before it ever came out. So it just like, I don't know, was called to it.
Yeah, I have to give some like background info to our listeners who might have started listening to this podcast in season 2. Back in season 1, when Speak Now TV was coming out, we had like a little Instagram live Speak Now TV party. So we each claimed a song and turned it into a festive cocktail or mocktail dealer's choice. And Natasha's was Timeless by Tosh. Hence why she listened to the song first, fell in love, you know, their love was truly timeless.
Yeah, by me. Mm-hmm. Tosh's version.
Sama, why did you pick it?
I don't I wish I had such a nice answer as Tosh, but I do really like this song. I guess I wasn't expecting to like this song as much as I did because I am very aware that the song can sound cheesy to some. Like it's very lovey-dovey, which isn't usually my go-to. But I just really, really love it. Like I can see using it like at a wedding, at my wedding. I could see the storytelling that she's doing with that song. I love it. And the beat, and it's like one of those that you love to sing along to. It's really great. I will say I was also thinking of like a 1989 vault track. So I think the vault tracks just all around were very significant.
Mhm.
They
That's
were
so
really
true.
good vault tracks this year. I agree. Yeah. And I think it might be because, and it's just Taylor Swift being a mastermind in marketing and everything like we always talk about, but the time of the release was like the height of the Eras tour and like the peak of summer, and that makes people remember things more, and I feel like you hold on to those songs because you attribute them to specific moments in time, like listening to it because we were having the Speak Now TV release party, getting ready to go to LA, like those kinds of things, So, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
And
Okay.
your choice?
I said it. Mine was Is It Over Now?
I know, but the reasoning behind it.
Oh, honestly, I don't know. It's just such a good song. I have no notes on it, honestly. Okay, my notes are like the cawing of the seagulls in the beginning.
That's why.
No, that's not what makes me like the song. Like my notes on them are like seagulls ? Cawing, but also I find myself in the car trying to match up the caw. When the song comes on, I always shoot for it. I never get it ever. Seagulls and I, we're not there with each other, but I'm always like, yes, I love this song. I love that it starts slow and then it goes like super fast and you're just vibing. I love running to that song. I just love it all around. Amazing.
It really builds.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's such a powerful last song on 1989 because the album is truly like telling a story. You've been through so many ups and downs, and then you get to this final song and you're like, okay, is it over now or not?
Right.
Through all of this, and truly, is it over now? Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite on 1989 too. I feel like if 1989 were released like sooner in the year, I would have picked one of those vault tracks, but I think like we've just had more time with the others, like with the Midnight's vaults and the Speak Now ones that like I really love Is It Over Now, but I can't the memories, like you said, that we have tied to the other songs just like overpower it.
Okay, so you're saying
haven't jammed to it all together in the car yet, like we did Timeless in LA.
So you're saying like Timeless is more like of a song that encompasses the year as a whole, whereas like Is It Over Now is just like the last few months kind of thing.
Right. Like I really love it, but like I love it like myself. Like I feel like Timeless is like a good sum of like experiences, the year, our love for Taylor, like everything.
So what you're saying is that it's truly timeless.
Our love is timeless, yeah. By Tosh.
Thinking of how like a song could really remind you of like a whole experience, like thinking across the span of the year, my perception, or I guess my experience with Cruel Summer has changed so much because when we were in LA, that was the song of choice for the radio contest to win tickets. And now that song, not that it gives me anxiety, but because I love Cruel Summer, but it's almost like a high. And I am forever changed.
I don't listen to it the way that I used to either anymore. Like it's not like when I used to listen to Lover when it first came out, that was like a song that I was always like, okay, if I'm listening to the album and I have 10 minutes in the car, Cruel Summer is one of the songs that I'm playing. She's not that girl for me anymore. I can't. I think the masses loving the song, it's kind of like a Love Story or You Belong With Me situation.
Yeah.
Like you start to appreciate the other songs on the album more. And it's not that like the love for Cruel Summer has gone away. Like truly one of the greatest Taylor Swift bridges of all time. It's just different now.
Yeah.
It's different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I think more context to the listeners. We were participating in a contest for like through this radio station on the last night of LA trying to win tickets, and we had to listen, like we had to hear Cruel Summer come on and be like what caller, like 13th
or 9th.
Yeah, be like a specific caller. So we were in the car driving around LA doing mindless things just because we had to be in the car listening to this radio station, and we heard Cruel Summer come on at least like 9 times. Like that's how long we were in the car for. But each time it had to be like following another song, and like each time it wasn't followed by that song. So like that's what Sammy means by like we're anxious, we're waiting for the next song, we're like desperately trying to win tickets, and it just didn't happen. So
you know what I think about that, and it's kind of like a segue into our last topic, but we'll get there when we get there. Maybe, and just maybe, we were not the winners of the LA last night tickets, August 9th, 2023, whatever, because not being able to get those tickets is now our opportunity to get tickets to Miami 2024. Like, it was either whoever's writing the narrative to my life was either like, okay, you can go August 9th closing night, or you can go in Miami. And like they chose the path for us. And now we're going to go in Miami. We're going to figure it out.
I believe it.
Yeah. Okay. So last thing, something you wish will happen in 2024, Swiftie related.
Maybe getting tickets to the Miami show at least 7 days prior.
and not tickets to the Miami show because we've already used it now. Although that is really what I hope Swiftie related in my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
I think in life in general, Swiftie related, I'll just kick it off. I think I want 2024 to be the year that Taylor Swift starts meeting Swifties again. Like that, and like my wish in general is that everybody listening to this pod, watching us on YouTube, whatever it may be, like my wish is that you get to be in the same exact room as Taylor Swift in 2024. Like that's what I hope. Meet her or not. One. I hope that you are like in the same room as her, honestly. Yeah.
In Trader Joe's.
In Trader Joe's, in the pasta aisle, anywhere. Truly. Football stadiums, wherever it may be. In the comfort of your home, watching the Eras Tour at home on January 2nd, 2024, like you've fulfilled my wish of the year already.
Love that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Besides, I want to see her live again. Maybe just like a pod wish, like for us to just keep the momentum that we have and like kind of just like become more listened to and I guess like talked about, so that we can be one of those like Swiftie podcasts that like, you know, are like linked to things and give the firsthand info and stuff. And like I definitely think we'll get there, and like the way that we've grown and like the work that Ren and we have put in like is amazing. And I think like 2024 is going to be a good year because we have the background. We kind of fixed all the tweaks and like did all the things. And now it's like a full year of like already kind of knowing how our podcast runs and having more of like a rhythm to things. So maybe that would be mine.
Yeah, if you're listening to this pod and you know a Swiftie or have one in your life that doesn't know about this podcast, share it. Spread the word. Share the love. What's yours, Sama?
Those were so good, and mine is not deep or emotional at all. And I think you know where I'm going with it. But I mean, all I could think about was Rep TV when you said 24. As selfish as that is. I just want that to dominate my year.
Rep TV. So are you hoping for release and announcement, Rep getting a new costume? Which one of all of it?
I want all of it. Like I want Rep in everything I see. I want to see new costumes. This is sounding very demanding, but I swear to all the listeners, I mean this in the best way. It's just I really enjoy Reputation. I would love to see new costumes. I would love to see, like a killer announcement. Even if it's just dropping on Instagram, like silently, I will still lose hair over this. Hearing the vault tracks. I am so excited to hear that. And again, I'm looking forward to 2024 for this because I have no one has any idea of what we're going to get. And she's hyping it up. And we know how people feel about rep because we've seen it at Eras Tour. We've seen it in the film when everyone just loses it. Mm-hmm. I love that feeling when we all like collectively just pop off. So yeah, I'm hoping we get that same feeling with Rep TV. As a community.
I have 2 Rep TV questions for you. Actually, one is just regular Rep. How do you feel? Because we talked about it on the week that you were off a few weeks ago when we had Swift Alerts on the podcast. How do you feel about Reputation Stadium Tour? And it is confirmed. So the last time that we talked about it, it was still up in the air. How do you feel about Rep Stadium Tour being taken off of Netflix?
Yeah, so the way I learned about that was on Netflix, seeing the
leaving soon.
Yeah, that thing. Heartbroken. But I guess kind of expected because we have Eras Tour streaming now. I feel like it's a shift away from Netflix, maybe moving to another place. Disney Plus, hello.
That's what I said.
So, yeah.
Okay, my theory is that because Taylor Swift works with GMA, announces all of her stuff on there, Long Pond Studio Sessions, folklore movie, blah, 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 blah. My theory is that they take it off of Netflix and then build a Taylor Swift profile thing on Disney Plus, and they add not just Rep Stadium Tour, but every single concert movie Taylor Swift has ever had, and then add the Eras Tour at the end.
No, that would be perfect, and part of why I'm not completely heartbroken. Also because I feel like that's another step into moving towards Rep TV. Like any attention given to original Rep, we know it's because there's an effect, right? Something coming with Rep TV. So I know we're gonna see it again. I just have to say goodbye for now, but that's fine. We're gonna get something soon.
Okay. And then my second question is not really Rep, but also Rep. Do you think Rep is going to be the only Taylor's version next year? Or do you think it will be Rep and debut and she closes out and finishes the re-recordings?
That's a good one.
That is a great question. I think it'll be both. I think it would be pretty big to let Rep just be 2024. I think she'll do both because I also feel like there's a lot of other transitional career moves that she could take part on and dedicate either the mid end or next year when it comes to looking at 2024, whether that be producing, writing,
opening for the EGOT.
That as well. Hot quiz, Tosh.
me literally trying to remember what that means.
So I can see them both same year.
Okay, so I guess then follow up to that is Rep debut 2024. Does that mean we think 2025 is TS11 or do we think 2024 is also TS11?
Okay, real quick. We know she's capable of releasing a new album and then TVs really close to each other because of what just happened with Midnight Speak Now 1989, although I know Midnight's wasn't 2023, but I think if we start off the year 2024 with an announcement or a release early in the year of Rep TV, then I feel like it could very well be TS11 and then debut by the end. That's how I would feel. I think if all 3 are released, I feel like that'd be the order, but I think it's possible.
Okay, so you think Rep, then TS11, then debut.
Yeah, I think she'd end off the year with debut.
I don't agree, I think.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I don't agree. I think that her choosing to do Rep TV and then debut and closing out the chapter of re-records ends the whole Eras aspect, the burning of the Lover House just closes this whole chapter. And it kind of goes back to what we were saying about the way tour is going to be approached after Eras. So I think it gives her an opportunity to kind of just like close this chapter, end it off, Reputation debut, and then she's like, we'll start new, TS11, whoever's still here, hopefully she's still as big as she is, but if not, you know, us hardcore, long live, long time Swifties, you know, get to experience TS11 with her and the next tour and all of that stuff. Because I think if she does Rep, then TS11, then debut, then what happens after debut? Like, I feel like then she almost immediately needs TS12 kind of thing.
I see what you mean.
What do you think, Sammy?
That was what I was implying by that, the transition of going from, okay, Rep, debut, and then onto the new move, whether that be TS11 or some other projects. I feel like that would be a clean shift from, okay, we're, like you said, we're ending eras now and we can focus on a new project. Because while we're getting a lot, you know, we're getting vault tracks, we're getting, you know, surprise songs, we're getting all that. It's a lot happening at the same time. So it would make sense and it would be nice to be able to focus on specific projects at a time, especially when you're riding such a high. And kind of like you said, you know, you kind of see who's going along for the ride or who's, you know, here for it all. That's just how I see it happening.
Yeah.
So then follow up, do you think that in 2024 she'd only release like Rep and debut? Or you think like TS11 could be towards the end of the year?
Maybe what it is an announcement for TS11 at the end of the year.
Okay.
So we get Rep, we get debut, and then we get the announcement that TS11 is coming and like stay tuned kind of thing. Because remember, she's also on the Eras tour for a long time. So I think that kind of coincides with the two, like the two Taylor's version albums releasing and then giving the opportunity to like pave the way for the next chapter. So I think, and like looking back on it, when you look at Bolt, I keep calling them Bolt albums or like tracks. I don't know why. Taylor's version albums. We have in 2021, we had Fearless and Red. And then 2022 was the year of Midnight's kind of thing. And then 2023, we got Speak Now and 1989. So I think, you know, those belong, the Taylor's version belongs in its own year, and then her next album is just separate work kind of thing. Because then it gets lost, like what Sammy was saying, like, you know, it gets lost within the excitement and the hype of the old albums. And it's fun, it's amazing, and it's great that we get to have that. But also, like, we need to focus on Taylor's new work and like what she's doing now kind of thing.
Yeah.
My take on that.
That's when we get the most, I guess, content, which would mean the most, you know, the longest time period. I feel like when we're getting a new album, we don't have any idea or expectation of what it is until she drops. So she can really like spread the drops between merch, Instagram posts, Easter eggs, games, you know, between the community and you know, Taylor Nation. So it's really like giving that new album its focus, its time, and where we're interacting along with it. Whereas I feel like the re-release, we already have expectations and we're kind of going along with her, but this is like we're waiting for the content because we don't have any knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And you said it too, Ren, like when you were saying what her versions, like when her albums were released, it seems like it's like in pairs. So up next could very well be Rep and debut because it was Fearless Red, 1989, Speak Now 1989. Now it could be
Rep and debut, and then
her Rep and her name, and then it's
I
done.
can't believe it's gonna be the end of the re-releases.
I know.
I'm like sad about it, but also like I'm excited for TS11, but like I'm a little bit sad. I was just gonna say, like, literally, like, really, I can't believe that it's been so long, but also feels so short at the same time.
And it's like a feeling that you like will never probably get again. Listening to a re-release of an album that we heard when we were kids, like that's what I think. Like TS11 is going to be cool, but it's like listening to Midnights, and the difference between listening to that and listening to like 1989 or Speak Now re-release, like it just hits different, literally.
Yeah 100%.
It's definitely an emotional process too, because I feel like this has been us growing up together all over again, especially since we have, very specific memories linked to specific albums and songs and phases of our life. So I'm not ready to let it go. But yeah.
Yeah, I just literally made myself like cry in the club right now because I also realized that Rep was the last like of the Big Machine record albums that we experienced together, and Debut was the first. Like our song Picture to Burn, like those were songs that I literally have chills. Like we were babies in elementary school listening to those songs together. And these are the last two albums, like from babies in elementary school to literally seniors in college. I can't.
You're going to make
I
me
can't.
emo.
She did that for us.
True. I guess that's pretty much it for our holiday, questions, Swiftie year in review. But we do want to sign off with a little holiday message and just kind of wish everybody the most amazing and very Merry Swiftmas. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Just spend time with your loved ones. Stream Taylor's version. Stream new Taylor albums. Please stream Christmas Tree Farm so that I'm not the only one listening out there. But with that, I think that about wraps up this week's episode of the T Swift Sisters podcast. Of course, before we log off, please remember to follow our podcast on any listening platform by tapping the plus next to wherever you're listening, or subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that you can stay up to date with the video versions of our podcast. And if you're watching the video version, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. We love to see it. You can find us on social at T Swift Sisters Pod on Instagram and TikTok, or T Swift Sisters on X, formerly Twitter, whatever it may be. We should have some holiday content, lined up. We're going to be together for a little bit over the holiday season, so expect to see some stuff of us together. Maybe we'll share our Swiftmas gift because as much as we love to say that we're not getting each other Taylor Swift related stuff, we do it every year, time and time again. Guilty. But thank you for savoring this week's very Merry Swift scoop. We hope you've had your fill of all things Taylor Swift, and we will see you next year right here on the T Swift Sisters podcast. Happy holidays!